So I've been seeing some of these server rack batteries and some of these nice lithium iron phosphate batteries that come in nice cases with the meter and the switch, and they're all self-contained. And I love the looks of them, but the price is quite expensive. They are about double the price of raw cells. And then I also don't want to buy a server rack design because I don't want to install a server rack. So I've been looking at what I want to do, and I have decided to build my own, server rack type battery. And I found the right case for it, and I designed and built this battery, and it looks as professional as about anything you can buy if you ask me. So I'm quite happy with it, and so this is the video of how I did it. So this is my current Powerwall setup. I have my electronics on the wall here, solar charger, inverter, and then the battery here on this big industrial shelf down here in the back of my garage. But what I want to do is I want to rebuild the battery in a proper steel case on some wheels, and it can sit here on the wall next to the air conditioning. And I want to make this, I want the battery to be movable, and I want to clean it up, and maybe for safety reasons put it in a proper steel case with insulation and make it a proper looking Powerwall type battery. So let me show you what I've got for this. So here's the box. What it is that it is a steel garage cabinet that you would normally maybe mount on your wall as like the top cabinet. But it is steel, and the dimensions are the right size to take the battery and have a little bit of room for the BMS and a cutoff switch, and to make this fully self-contained. So I haven't opened it yet. Let's open it up and let's see what we're working with here. It is fairly heavy, so I'm hoping it is. Because of the box is about the right size for the cabinet, I thought it was actually fully constructed already. But I just opened it up and it looks like it's in pieces on the inside. So let me build the cabinet and I'll get back with you. So the cabinet is built. The dimensions are about the right size. The battery should fit. It has a magnetic front door with a lock. So this will be perfect. Now the thing is, this is very cheap metal that cannot take the more than 200 pounds of battery. So the important part is that we put some nice plywood in the bottom to give it some strength, and then I'm going to put it on wheels, and those wheels will mount through the plywood, and that's how we will get our strength. That's important. We need that weight to be distributed by the plywood. So we'll cut some plywood in the bottom, give it some strength in the bottom to take downward force, and then we'll begin the process of I guess moving my battery over into it and starting to build it. And I'm going to use, like these isolated bushings that pass through the case to provide the connection to the outside for the battery to go to the power, to go to my inverter and solar panel, that kind of stuff. So we're going to do all of that. But I think, I think for now we need to get some plywood in this, get the wheels on it, and get it structurally sound to carry the weight. Okay, so I finished assembling the box, and I have, it's a little front heavy right now, but because it doesn't have the batteries in it, but I actually put in 2 layers of OSB here, and I installed the caster wheels from underneath. So this is effectively just a thick skateboard right now that can definitely take the 200 pounds of batteries that are going to go in here. And then I put a little plastic protector sheet there just so we don't damage the cells when we start stacking them in here. The other interesting thing that I've done I've installed the isolated battery connects on the back. This will pass the battery voltage through, and we can plug a nice like Anderson connector extension cable on there. And that's how the power will come out of this battery. And so now the reason I installed that is I'm realizing quickly that I'm gonna run out of room in this case very quickly. Those batteries just fit. The batteries actually, I've already marked the level. The batteries are gonna come all the way up to here. They exactly fit horizontally, and I mean, it's gonna be tight. I'm actually gonna drain down the batteries a bit today with the air conditioning because full batteries expand, and I don't have room for expanded batteries in this case. It's gonna be tight. So I wanna shrink them down a little bit. I will be using compression on the batteries. I always compress my batteries, and I'll use a ratchet strap to compress the batteries once they're stacked in there. But I need to be able to get them to fit before I even begin compressing them, and right now it's going to be tight. I've taken measurements. It's going to be millimeter tight to get the batteries in compressed. So uncompressed, it's going to be super tough. Anyways, like I said, I'm going to drain the batteries down a bit so they aren't so expanded, and that should help them fit. And then I'll put them in. We're going to have 8 across the bottom and another row of 8 stacked on top. That'll take it up to here. That should leave just enough room for a BMS and likely a fuse, and then out to those two power poles on the back side there, and then this should be basically a self-contained battery with with the fuse and the thing. And actually, now that I think about it, I need a cutoff switch as well. Damn it, I forgot about it. It's a cutoff switch. All right, well, anyway, so I got to put a cutoff switch somewhere on here as well. So, but anyways, yeah, the battery's coming together, and we'll go from there. Okay, the batteries are in the case. They actually fit pretty well. There is not a lot of room left at the top for the BMS and that, so that is going to be tricky. I'm going to have to deal with that now. But I have the ratchet strap on. The batteries fit in pretty good, and they have wooden spacer boards on the sides which protect the batteries, and then the ratchet strap provides a bit of compression just so that the cells don't move too much and don't stress the bus bars. But anyways, it's all in here, so now I just got to work out the BMS situation and assemble put all the bus bars back together, and we have a start of something here. So far so good. So I was going to try and fit the BMS and everything mounted on the side of the wall back there, but the space is really tight and I have all the balance wires and everything to deal with. So what I've decided to do is to just put it all on this board here, and then the board can just literally slide in on top of the battery here, nice and neat. And it'll allow me to wire a lot easier, allow me to do service a lot easier. I can just pull that out. So yeah, I'm liking that idea. So I think the BMS board will just sit on top there, and next I just got to connect all the BMS wires. So the battery is basically wired. The BMS is all hooked up. I haven't yet connected the main battery negative. Again, this shelf will sit on top here. That negative will connect there. My main positive is here, and that has already been connected to the standoff out there. So this positive has positive voltage, and I just need to connect the negative when I slide the tray in here and connect this to the inside. Yeah, it's coming along good. This battery is almost finished. I will not have a battery cutoff on the battery itself. It has a fuse. I'm going to have my battery cutoff on the actual wall where my solar charger and inverter are, and I'll turn, so this battery will basically always be live at the terminal points. I'll just disconnect it at the wall. So that's the battery design. So in theory, this battery is wired. All the connections have been torqued. All the BMS wires are on, and we should actually have voltage coming out the back here. Let's put a multimeter on the back here and check for voltage. Should have about 26 volts. 26.34. I'm hoping you can read that meter. Yes, you can. All right, this battery is live at 26.34 volts. So now we will build a small extension harness with Anderson connectors to plug it onto the wall where I have my inverter and my solar charger. But yeah, I mean, the main battery box is built, and I have to say I'm loving it. I mean, what a cool, what a cool self-contained battery. I'm going to put a sheet of plastic over the front here. I have a sheet of plastic that's large enough, rigid plastic, so that when you close the door, there's no chance of, anything touching, since this is a metal door. But I will put a sheet of plastic that's large enough to fit in there, and that will insulate the front of the battery, and the battery is complete. And yeah, that was an easy build, and yeah, I'm loving the form factor. So the Powerwall is reconfigured. You can see I'm running my air conditioning, pulling about 1.5 kilowatts right now. Yeah, 1.5 kilowatts. Let me turn it off. Now let me turn off the inverter because it's making a bunch of noise. There's my inverter switch. Yeah, so it seems to be working good. I rewired everything because the power wires used to come in from this side off this shelf. So I redid all of this, and now it comes in off this side. It has an Anderson connector here, 125 watt or 125 amp Anderson connector. Those connect onto the back of the pass-throughs with rubber caps to keep it nice and safe. And yeah, the battery is basically complete. It just sits there, comes in with the Andersons, and it goes to the main power switches. This 200 amp switch is the main connector for the whole system. Yeah, so when I break this, it breaks all the electronics and kind of turns off the battery. But yeah, everything's working, and I'm pretty happy with this new configuration.